So many people have arrived from all over. So many people unexpectedly, not planned for, sort of almost reactive because that original prayer call was so strong.
Well, for me, it's, this is all Indian country, it's always been to pay respect for each other. That's why I'm here.
I'm just amazed of how many people are here. I've only seen Facebook photos. I've only seen, certain things, but I never expected it to be this large, and this makes my heart happy.
I wasn't prepared for it. I wasn't sure what I was going to see, and it's beautiful and it's terrible, both at the same time.
What's going on here is people are standing up to this company that thinks they can just push their pipeline anywhere they want.
So how many people are here?
I say 2,000 to 3,000 people right now, and I think our peak at one time was 10,000 people in camp.
And are you expecting more people coming?
God, I hope so.
In our hearts, we can feel that we had to go. It was, something my mother would have wanted, and she would have been out there. But it took us 10 hours to drive to Boise from Woodland. About 15 hours from Idaho, Boise. So we just took turns driving. And then again, we got there that early Saturday morning around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, so sun was rising. I've never seen anything that beautiful before, with everybody to come together to set up camp. It's what they have right when you enter. Only when the last tree has died, the last fish has been caught, the last river poisoned, we will realize we cannot eat money. Probably during that time of Thanksgiving, that weekend, around 3,000 to 4,000 people. Yeah, it was huge. They live there. They actually live there. They're building their homes. Their whole life is going to be right there until this is done and over with.
And I really am. I'm here to see if I can do something for this beautiful movement.
So I brought some stuff to help them out with food and stuff, because I know
That's what we did too.
Yeah.
All the financial support and all the prayers people are sending are great. We need all them. But really, we need bodies. Because the more bodies we have here, the more nervous they get. Because they're worried about us taking back 1806 and cutting them off.
The Dakota Access Pipeline and the governor's task force have wanted to go in the easiest manner for them, because they're trying to meet their shareholders, investors' timeline. They only have so much time to meet that, and they only have a few clauses that allow them, if they go past their agreed building time, their contracted time, that allows them to continue. Part of that is what they call acts of nature. The other part of it is if they are caught in an area where there are riots. Thus you see the language in your local papers about riotous people, because they need it to be a riot in order to get refunded. If we can hold this space, which is being required, until such time as that hearing ends and before their next hearing for their investors, that means they will then lose the funding for this if they don't meet certain lengths of pipeline by that time.
They're just trying to get to that deadline, and when we were doing actions, we were actually slowing them down real good. But now they're working 24/7 to get it done.
It's amazing that these people, this corporation thinks that their pipeline is not going to affect us. When we see every day pipelines are breaking and leaking all over the states.
Where they're drilling is core land, but it's also surrounded by areas that we call, all of it actually, taken land. So it's in dispute. It's been in dispute for a long, long time.
They put razor wire around the mountain, so you can see the razor wire goes up, and they ended up putting it all up on top of the mountain.
Who owns that land?
The tribe.
If we revert back to an understanding of how to negotiate what that means, it means that those conversations have to continue, and the process by which those conversations have happened from then until now have to be reviewed.
If become more than just about the pipeline that's going to pollute the water.
The way that it seems like they're acting towards the journalists, towards the protesters, and we're talking about, I mean, First Amendment rights, First Amendment right to assembly, First Amendment right to the press, essentially First Amendment right to freedom of religion.
I had to put you.
And these are being just torn apart and just ripped to shreds.
Yeah, it's all the money, you know. They don't think about what destroying the land, the earth, the air.
I don't want to stand up here lecturing, but I'll tell you, if you follow the money, what it costs to have that many police from that many different states with that much equipment, you'll find out what's driving, what's behind an ability to do that. It has to come from a number of places. There are only so many funding sources for law enforcement agencies and their officers to get that training and to get that equipment.
We're all trying to protect the land here and the water and everything.
Hello.
This is their home, you know, and they're being forced back.
The only question that I understand, listening to tribal council and listening to the original statements, was that people were asking to be a part of that conversation and not for there to be an assumption that it was okay, because it isn't okay.
If you look around, how many people are here, still here. There's people from all over these nations. People have come from overseas.
I'm very excited that our people are gathering together for one cause, to help each other, to help Mother Earth. So I'm very happy, and I feel very excited for all of those, for everybody coming up and showing support.
Our best scenario is to keep a very prayerful space and keep inviting our relatives to join us in that space. That's our best scenario. You know, to ask for that space that says we have some questions. We're not clear that this is good for us or good for our future, good for our grandchildren, good for, you know, generations to come. We're just asking to defend the right to have water and defend the right to have that conversation, but we're going to try and do it in a peaceful, prayerful manner. That's our intention. That are the words that you'll see. That is what Standing Rock has been saying all along, and I think it's important because, again, nobody planned for or had advance notice or knew that it would get to the stage it is, and yet people are still struggling to maintain a peaceful space. It takes a lot, you guys. From there, pretty much I kind of feel there's nothing we can't do, including asking our leaders to leave some space where we can have some genuine conversation about what will happen to our resources, to our water, you know, to all the things that we need in order to have this for our children, our grandchildren, and those who still, you know, haven't been born and need an opportunity. That's on our shoulders.
So that's why we are here, to stand up and say we will not take it. You cannot just push this down our throat.